Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Time to Shine Happiness Show. Today, we are diving into the power of courage in making decisions. So stay tuned. Not my skill set, nor do I want to learn it.
Sometimes because I put up stuff which I kind of test
in the wilderness. I don't know if I was the best one to teach them that. However, and although it was a really
that when you said, I was like, oh,
Throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
I do know where that.
So for me, rather than doing something half-heartedly or like just half. Well, hi there, Miss Beckley. How are you doing this morning?
Hello, Queen.
All righty. Hey, you know what? And welcome all of the audience. And here at Time to Shine, we want to share inspiration, joy, and to help you, our audience, to connect with what lights you up. What brings you success in your life and in your business? I'm one of your hosts, Barbara Ellison. I am a life transition mentor, and I work with late career business professionals to go from burned out, unhappy, unhealthy, to living their best life through what I call mind-body architecture. So it is such a fun subject. And so also today, we are going to be here with my good friend, buddy, mentor, producer, Barbara Beckley.
Thank you, Queen Barbara. And like Barbara said, I'm Barbara J. Beckley. I am the CEO and founder of DFN TV Diamond Factor Network. What does that do? What does that do? Well, I help you to ignite. I want to say that ignite your passion deep down inside of you first, right? Then take that passion, take that purpose, take that drive in you and show it out so you can be lighthouse to the world. And what I mean by show it out, lighthouse to the world, of who resonates with you is that visibility part of it. Because we all need that. It's just, I always tell people, don't stay in that box because people won't understand what you do and what you can do for them. But once you get that passion from you, then you can help others. And that's what we do. And that's why me and Barbara work so well together, because we both have that sense of really wanting people to be themselves.
Right. And the thing is, that's what we were talking about today with courage and making decisions. Every day, life happens to all of us, and we reach crossroads. Moments where we can choose a path that aligns with our values, our aspirations, those kinds of things. Also, though, it's easy to feel overwhelmed at all the possibilities. And in my case, it was so often the fear of making the wrong decision. So often it was like, oh, but what, the what ifs. But one of the things that I have now realized that the truth is that every choice is an opportunity for us to grow.
Yes.
And that has made all the difference.
Yeah. I love what you said, because I'm trying to go back to my notes. About our last guest that we had, Doug, and he was talking about, the obstacles is the path. That just, when he said that just like took my whole understanding about just, which I knew I understood to a certain extent that we learned from our, but it's there for a reason. It's a path to put us through in each, in our lives. And, sometimes we don't welcome that. A lot of times we don't want to welcome it. We don't want to see it. We're trying to figure out why, like you said, why me syndrome, and why not you? Because now I look at that as a different lens to say, okay, this has helped me grow. This is helping me get stronger. This has helped me to have more courage. Yeah.
Right. And sometimes that courage, we don't think, lots of times we're like, oh.
Yeah.
But you know what? At its core, when we make a choice, that's where we are self-empowering ourselves. And it doesn't matter whether it's a big decision, changing careers, getting married, all of those things. But lots of times it's in those small daily choices.
Yeah.
About how you spend your time, how what you watch on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
What books you read.
Yes.
What shows do you listen to?
Yes.
What do you surround yourself with?
Yes.
I will share one thing with you on that note. We all get up in the night, and as you get older, you get up in the night. You do get up in the night. And so I was up this morning, I think it's like around 2:00. And as I was on my way to the washroom, I realized that I was singing. In my brain, my mind was singing. And it was singing a praise song.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, you know what? It absolutely struck me. And you know absolutely that this is true, that your brain does not sleep ever.
It keeps, yeah.
It's always on 24/7. I was so grateful that it was singing a praise song rather than watching the news and something destructive had been on right before going to bed. That's why it's so important. What are you listening to in the evening? Are you listening to negative, scary, ugly things that are, because there's a lot of ugliness going on in the world right now. We have a lot of chaos. We have a lot of unrest. We have civil unrest. We have government unrest. We have stories of horrendous things that are happening, plane crashes and all of those things.
Dropping, yeah.
So, but if your brain never stops, if your mind is always going, what are you surrounding yourself with?
Yeah.
And that's a daily choice
Yes,
of what you are doing and how you're spending your time, because each one of those decisions shapes who you are.
Yeah. So well put. So well put. Because I was just thinking about what you said about our distractions. We had to make those choices. And I had to make choices with like friends that text me or send me things about everything you just talked about, from what's going on to government to all that kind of stuff. Because we know all that is like heavy, heavy, heavy right now. And it's going to be heavy. I told somebody the other day, I said, this is going to be heavy for 4 more years. But I'm not getting political or nothing right now, but it's just, this is what it is right now. And you have to make a decision. Are we going to let this, move us in our lives? Is that going to be the movement, our leading, or is it going to be us leading ourselves to, we got to make this choice. Who's leading what? And I told one of my friends, I just had to tell her, I said, I really need you to stop sending me texts and, previews, new stuff and all that kind of stuff, because every time something happens, because it seemed like something happened every hour, it seemed like with whatever. And they said to me, and I was like, and it's not really something that's really on a positive level or something that gets me alarmed to say, oh no, now what? Now what I got to work, And see, sometimes I can go there and I'm like, I need you to stop that, because I need to basically protect this and this now. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I know that there is stuff out there. Absolutely. And maybe this is Pollyanna in the sky, but I figure if something is going to happen that's going to be drastic, I'm going to hear about it on Facebook, and that's going to be it. And if I'm going to die tomorrow, I'll hear about it on Facebook, or on LinkedIn or something. I refuse to dwell on it every day.
Yeah, or every hour. I mean, it's becoming every hour thing going on. Yeah.
And some people are dwelling on it every minute.
Yes. Yes.
Well, of course, when you've only got negative stuff coming in, like our last guest, he talked about, what you focus on expands. So if you are only focusing on the negative things that are happening in the world right now, not just in this country or in North America or around or in Europe or around the world, if you're only concentrating on the negative things that are happening, well, guess what?
Yeah.
You're helping to further that negativity.
Yeah.
Because it's all energy.
Yeah.
It's all energy.
You're kind of being a part of it.
And thank you. That's exactly what happens. You become part of it.
Yeah.
Because you're not picking and choosing what you're going to focus on. I choose to focus on the higher vibration. And you might not think that vibration is real, but it's one of the universal laws. It's kind of like the law of gravity. You might not believe in the law of gravity, but if you walk off of a building, you know you're going to drop. Vibration is no different. Yeah. So if the frequency, the highest frequency, the highest vibration is gratitude and love and all of those positive things.
Yes.
Down to the lower ones, I don't, that you feel you see people that they just go, well, I shouldn't have done that, and they're bent over and they're no. Sit up straight, be proud, and not be proud, like prideful proud, but walk proud that, hey, you know what? I'm a person.
Yes.
I'm a person.
And things happen. I mean, we make
things happen. Hey, we all make mistakes.
Hold your head up. Hold your head up, like you said. I love it. Yeah.
And it's so and it takes courage to forgive ourselves. We have to forgive ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we've all done things that we would not want to have shouted from the rooftops. Let's be honest. I think one of the gals that I know, she has written a book, and it's called The 13 Secrets That People Don't Admit.
Oh, wow.
She says that this is her study, her book of her field of expertise, of the things that people don't talk about, and they will never ever reveal their secrets.
Wow.
Never.
Oh,
never.
I'm interested in that.
13. I think we'll have to have her on.
Yeah.
And she's broken it down into there's 13 basic ones. And I was like, oh, wow. And it was fascinating to talk to her.
Did you remember any of them?
Oh, they're things like the horrendous things, that just like the big things, you killed somebody, those kinds of things. But also just the feelings of shame of things that you participated in that you now as an adult would go, oh, brother, what did I do? Those, you don't want them, shouted from the rooftops. So yeah, we'll have to have her on.
Yeah, we definitely do. I would love to know about those things that you would never hear.
The things that people and that everybody that she's ever interviewed has all had. I think there's 5 top ones. There's at least 5 that every person has 5 secrets that they would never, ever, ever tell.
Wow.
And it was the first time I heard her say it. I went, it's like, oh yeah, I guess I can say that there would be some secrets that, yeah.
Well, one thing one thing already I know, if it's the 13, because you mentioned one about killing somebody. At least I'm not on that level, because I have not did that.
Because I have not exactly.
Yeah.
I have.
That's one thing I could check off to say, nope, I don't have to worry about it because I didn't do that.
Right.
But then there's other things, like you said, that might come up because some people might have lied about something that they don't feel really, like you said, ashamed of, and they'll never tell it. They don't. It's like, no, I can't do it.
Especially if something has happened that has drawn them into such a success.
Oh yeah.
And they lied about something that
can really just
unravel their entire house of cards.
Yes. Yeah, like just come down, like you said, a deck of cards. Yeah.
Yes. And which is why people commit suicide, because they and yet that in itself and I think that was one that they have thought about harming themselves. I think that is one of the secrets.
But to admit that
they've thought of committing suicide.
I
I have no concept of that. And yet, or they've done or they've abused their children, or things like that. But it was fascinating to hear her talk. But it takes courage.
But I'm glad you went into it, because I know we're talking about courage and being able to be courageous. And I just thought about what you said about the 13 things that you never would do, about suicide. Somebody thinking about committing suicide. Well, that's part of my story. Right. When I talk about with my dad when he passed away, because I flip-flopped. I said I wanted to. I was on that this verge of saying goodbye. Right. And I say it not to get the, some people say certain stories just to get, I want people to think and all that and stuff. But no, that's not it. I'm just letting you know that somebody out there might be thinking the same thing, but
right.
Let's and then let them know that I resonate with people. It's like, because sometimes they see you as, Barbara, you're this and you're happy and you're talking about passion. Da, da, da. I said, that's wonderful. But there was a time in my life that I wasn't all like that. And there was a time in my life that I was going down that slippery slope. Slippery slope, like they say. And to let people know that I can resonate. That's why I try to help people even more so, because I know I've been there. I was there. I was you.
Exactly.
So that's the reason why a lot of times, not just me, but I know a lot of people tell their stories. Like you tell your story about, your husband and a lot of things you do. And I love how you say you put, and you cut you off, but I just wanted to say you kudos when you always talk about, I just really understand me and really get a deep relationship with myself after 50, 60 years passed. Right. So all the other times you were basically struggling, and maybe in some capacity, I was going to ask you this, Barbara, did you even realize that you really weren't your true self?
Oh, no, not until I woke up.
Yes. That's what I was. Yeah.
Not until I woke up. And if you had asked me if I was happy, I would have said, well, yeah. But I was going through the motions of being happy. I was going through my life with blinders on. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't know any different.
See, that's it. That is right there.
Know any different.
Yeah.
I thought I expected to live, till, I have longevity in my family. My dad, I lost him just like he was 102. My grandmother was 96. My mom was 95. So I have longevity in my family.
Yes.
And so I thought we were going to, dance at our great grandchildren's weddings.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, and I thought I would be happy. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize I wasn't until I woke up to the fact that I had no idea of who I was. Wow. Outside of all the labels that I had put on myself.
Wow.
I didn't know who I was outside of that. And then realized that, yike.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the scariest part was that I had to realize and come face to face with me, Barbara, that, well, if you're not any of those things, who are you? That was the moment. Yeah. All right, I've got to find out.
That was the eye opener.
I cannot go on like this for another minute. And so many people are facing that same thing because they're so wrapped up in their job title and their job description. For men, their job title, their job description. And now, the mindset is kind of like, I have the corner office, I have the limo, I have the the private parking, I have an airplane, or whatever, whatever they're thinking. And how can I now sit here and turn around and say I'm unhappy? How can I admit that I'm unhappy when I have all the trappings of success?
Yes.
And that's where the courage comes in. Yeah. You have to have courage, even when the outcome isn't clear, even when you don't know what your next step is. Ooh, how can I, but I knew that moment, I felt like I couldn't take my next breath. I have got to figure this out.
Yeah.
And that's when I got a coach. But what happens when people don't do it? They fall into ill health, which is I am blessed that I'm in the wellness space, that we have absolutely world-class, cutting-edge cellular nutrition. Your body knows what to do with it.
Yes.
All we have to do is put it in. Absolutely. That's my soapbox for that. However, when you don't have that, when you don't have what's up here and your body feeling good, yeah, it erodes your resilience. Everything is affected.
Yes.
And when all of those things are affected, does that impact your life?
Well, yeah, and all different, yeah.
And does it impact the lives of the people around you?
Yeah, because it's affecting you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes down that, yeah.
Goes down that path.
Yeah.
But once you acknowledge it.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you really, took us on that journey, because a lot of people need to hear what you just said about that, about really saying, okay, let me put everything to the side. Who really am I? Where am I? Who am I?
Who am I?
And maybe, am I really happy? I mean, I know there's questions that you had to ask yourself, like, wait a minute, like the awakening came, and I'm so glad it did.
Yeah. And it was like fog. Well, I still say it was the widow's fog, but it wasn't only just the widow's fog. The widow's fog was the impetus, because I lost David.
Yeah.
It was that awakening that, oh yeah, there's more to life than this. In fact, I just wrote a post on it about on LinkedIn about it, and so many people are saying that there has to be more to life than this.
Yes.
Whatever this is different for everybody.
Yeah. But this is,
more to life than this. And it's in that moment of courage. Are they going to answer the call to do something different? Or are they going to fall back into what you talked about, the comfort zone?
The comfort zone. Yeah.
And it's a choice.
Yeah. You know what? When I was thinking, that song by, what is his name? It's his, but he says The Danger Zone.
The Danger Zone.
I forgot who sings it. I love it.
I think, The Danger Zone.
But I was thinking, and I
can hear it in my brain. Now I'm singing it all day.
I know. I'm sorry. I do that to too many people when I mention the song. But he said, he talking about To the Danger Zone.
Danger Zone.
I can't even. Kenny something. Well, anyway. So I was thinking when
Top Gun, they was in the movie Top Gun.
Oh yeah. Top Gun too.
Danger Zone.
And I was thinking of that when you said the comfort zone. So I was about to say, are you going to the comfort zone? And we need to break out of that, because we miss out on so much. And that's where that courage, we come back to the same topic like we're talking about. That's where that courage has to come in at. And just to go into that part, just something for me, and I just mentioned to you just a few minutes ago, where I'm taking my whole business to a whole nother level. That am I fearful by it? Yeah, I've been. Yeah. Am I a little nervous? Yeah. Am I second guessing sometimes? Well, sometimes. But then I say, okay, Barbara, are you going to let the fear, the nervousness, and second guessing override the possibilities that you can have by taking this jump?
Right. We have new possibilities every day.
Yeah.
It's whether we're going to, and yet some of the new possibilities, yeah. Hey, I'm the first to admit I get shiny object syndrome. Barbara, don't do that. No. That's what you do have to stop and say, okay, really, is this the best use of my time, resources, and energy?
Yeah.
And if it's, but take that time to do that. Is this the best use of my time, resources, and energy?
Yeah.
And if yes, go for it.
And if it's going back to what we said about before, if it's focused on your purpose, on your main goal that you have in your life, then maybe that's the gold sign. That's like that's that green light to tell you that. But if it's something that's way, 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 and like you said, it's just shining out and saying, "Hey, look at me," da, 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 then you got to rethink. You got to say, "Okay, I got to stay focused here." But
I have to admit, I've done so many, shiny object syndromes that, I mean, I have spent so much money needlessly on things that, oh yeah, I'm going to use that.
And then
get the things that you're going to use today.
Yes.
And that's why, like, I love the serenity prayer. Lord, grant me the wisdom to know the difference between the two sides. Change the things I can and accept the things I can't. Okay. Am I really ready for this shiny object that I'm looking at right now? Am I really ready? Ooh, no, Barbara, you're not. You still have to do these 3 steps. And one of the things we talked about on one of the previous shows is that so often people want to skip steps.
Yes.
I'm talking to somebody here. Stop doing that. Do not skip the steps. Don't do it. And I am so guilty of it. So guilty. I'm talking to the choir here. Stop doing it, Barbara. Just do the steps.
And I'm laughing because usually when you see me giggling like that, I'm giggling because I'm right with you. We're like partners in crime with that. I mean, I do it, We all, we've been there. It's just like, what are you doing? You're skipping what?
You skipped a step. Yes. Life is a process. Life really is a process, but it's a step-by-step process.
Yeah.
All we have to do is get in step with it.
Yeah.
And and sometimes there will be, hey, I've taken many missteps in my life. Absolutely. But then you come back to the main steps, and that's your calling. That's your purpose, passion, and drive, which is what you talk about all the time. That's your field of expertise because it aligns.
It doesn't align with it. Because when I always talk to people, Barbara, and I know you have to, where you're coaching somebody or mentoring, just having a conversation with somebody, and they start talking about some way out whatever, and you're like nodding your head, and then when they get done, they're like, now why did I go there? I mean, I don't really think that. I'm glad you've seen that. Now, some people don't get to the point of why did I go there. Some people just be going, and then sometime words of wisdom comes in and says, now, does this have anything to do? Anything?
It's the main thing.
Yeah. And they're like, well, not really, because somebody just told me, or somebody told me to do it. And see.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, they said to do it this way. I said, but you're not them and they're not you.
Right.
Now you can learn and get different aspects of it, but you still might have to do it in a different format than what they're doing because they're doing it this way and you're doing it this way. So don't get caught up in all that. Get caught up in what your purpose. Let's go back. And that's why I keep telling myself, I said, let's go what you're going for.
One day, people are funny. And they really are. People are they're fascinating. And one day, I can't remember now exactly what the scenario was, but I finally just said, well, do you think this is just another squirrel? We all chase squirrels. And she went, oh, yeah, maybe. That's a squirrel. We've all done it.
And you know what? You have to have the courage. You have to have the courage to tell them that, and they have to have the courage to admit.
To say,
you see, there's both sides.
Right. Because right at that moment, it was just a question: is this a squirrel, or is this a legitimate direction that you want to take?
Yeah. And
she just kind of went, "Oh, yeah, it's kind of a squirrel."
I know. Sometimes I hear a lot of people about one of the problems they've been having with distractions of what they're doing.
Squirrels, distractions, yeah.
But I've been hearing one big distraction is this. Scrolling, Barbara. Scroll. You start looking at one thing, then you scroll, you see something else. Oh, then you scroll like, oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know they said it. Oh, when did she do that? Oh, when
and half an hour has gone by.
Or an hour. Somebody told me the other day, Barbara, she scrolled for 3 hours on the phone. I was like, what?
Well, yeah.
I said, what? I said, no.
And then, I mean, and hey, we've all done it.
Yeah.
I know that there are times when I have just absolutely binged
No.
binged watched Hallmark movies just because it was just I needed to just totally turn my brain off and to just not have to think and and just all that kind of stuff. Because we need those times too.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. But
However,
let's do the however. Do the however, Barbara.
yes.
However, it's like, yeah, because I asked her, I said, well, this was 3 hours of scrolling. And you said you told me just the other day that you were working on a project and you still haven't got it all the way done yet. She's like, I know. She said, oh, I just don't have no time for it.
You're right. Yeah, well, you spent 3 hours.
You spent 3 hours scrolling. I mean, I would have considered, okay, I told her, I said, I'll even give you something. I'll give you a gift. Even if you did 1 hour scrolling, but at least take
a timer.
Do it. Yeah.
Get a timer.
Yeah. She's like, maybe I should. She said that too. Barbara, she said that. She said, maybe I should get a timer. I said, I have one. I use a timer. It helps.
Right. Because all of these things, it's powerful to transformation. Mm-hmm. However, can you imagine that we can conquer the fear of who we are becoming? And lots of times that's what starts. There's a fear of who we are becoming, but we can do it every day.
Yeah.
It's in a small step. Having courage to say, hey, you know what? That's not me.
Yeah.
That doesn't really relate to what I want to do. Like every once in a while, it's like when I'm walking past something and it's like, ooh, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of mentally shut my ears because these days, people have conversations about anything, anywhere, anytime.
I know, Barbara. Oh, sometimes I just be like, then some people jump on me, say, well, Barbara, you need to know what's going on in the world. You need to know what's happening. You need to do. I said, I understand it. They say you can't just be stuck up in your little world because something happens, just like you said earlier. I said, you know what? One thing, I'm not going to be naive now. I'm not.
Right. No, there's a difference.
Yeah. But I just don't want to every second of the day, every hour of the day, keep hearing this kind of stuff. And I'm not getting unproductive done myself.
Right.
To help others. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to our sponsor, give some love to our sponsor, and then we'll be right back to continue this awesome conversation.
Yeah.
And although it may seem a little mundane, packing up boxes and being on the assembly line, what we're really doing is putting in hundreds of hours into the people on the streets who need us. And they need us in a way that none of us will ever understand. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been on the grounds every day. They know we're coming today, they know we're coming tomorrow, and they look forward to seeing us because we're the one little bit of hope that they have to have a warm meal in their bellies and to know that somebody in the world is actually caring for them and loving them. And without people like you showing up today to give your time, your energy, and your spirit, none of this is possible. So I want to really say thank you to everyone because what we're doing here today may seem small, but it's actually really, really big. And it's impacting hundreds and thousands of families. So I thank you, I love you, I look forward to doing this with you today. My name is Serena Buffalino, and I am the founder of Help Heal Humanity. Help Heal Humanity is a charity that is focused on unconditional giving, love, and support to some of the most vulnerable communities in the world.
Hello, and if you're just chiming in, back with the Time to Shine Happiness Show with the BBs, Barbara J. Beckley, and my wonderful queen next to me, Barbara Ellison. We're having a wonderful conversation about, courage being, the role of courage. And I just want to do a quick plug. The person that you just seen, Help Heal Humanity, Miss Serena Buffalino. Awesome cause. What she's doing, she's really trying to help out children that's in need for food and education in Haiti. As we all kind of know, if you heard, and if you haven't heard, look it up on Google. It's really having a hard time, very hard time over there, where people are even dying, and children are dying. So she's really trying to help, get that out, get things out there for the children, at least for the children. So thank you, Serena, for being such an angel to them. And we're back here, Miss Barbara. Courage, the role of courage. Yes.
And I think so many people don't think of it as that they're not. Well, I'm not courageous. But that's a lie. That's a lie.
You don't even realize it.
Every choice that we make to whether we celebrate it or whether we question it. Absolutely. But it's part of the journey of who you are becoming. We just talked about getting over the fear of who we are becoming.
Yeah.
God wants us to make a difference in the world.
Yeah. And in order to make that difference, we have to we got to make those choices. And some of the choices might be hard. Some of the choices might be scary. Some of the choices might be, really, should I be doing da-da-da? And then some of the choices might be even a no. See, we don't think about that. We're always thinking about doing the yes and jumping and putting that, out there. But sometimes a choice might be, no, this is not the right choice. Or no, I have to really be bold in this. I have to stand my ground on this.
Especially when it goes against and we've talked about this so many times, but it keeps coming up because it's such a vital subject, especially when it flies in the face of what is considered normal in your family, your business, we've always done it this way.
Yeah, type of thing. Yeah,
that type of thing.
Yeah,
people get caught up in that.
Yes.
But I can't do that because we've always done it this way. Well, but who started it? We've done some fun things with this. They have no idea what started the feud between the Hatfields and the McCoys. But most people know who the Hatfields and McCoys were.
Yeah.
It's a feud that's been going on for 100 years, if not longer.
And still, did they ever figure out, Barbara, what the feud was?
They have no idea. Nobody remembers what actually started the feud. And yet, when you like, especially if you're from the South, you can mention the Hatfields and the McCoys. Oh yeah, that is a feud still going, and in some ways it's still going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, look at what's going on in the government right now. I mean, we do not agree. You cannot agree with everything that a leader does.
Yeah.
However, we have to respect the office of the leader.
That's what I have to tell people. And people still look at me crazy when I say that, but you're right. You are truly right about that.
You have to respect we might not agree with what they're doing, and we might not agree with their politics and their stance of anybody that's ahead of us. I don't care whether you're a kid in school and you have to listen to the principal. There are people in authority, and we might not agree with the people that are in authority, but we have to respect the office that they are in. And yet, not a popular stance. No, I said it one day, and it was like, what? But they've done. It's like, no, they've done. Yes, they've done all these things. However, I still have to respect that they're in that office right now. So I might, and I have to pray for them. That's
our duty. That's what as Christians, We have to pray. That's what I say. I said, you know what? I got to respect the office. So what my thing is, what my duty is, I'm going to pray for that office. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the beauty of having a choice.
Yep. Everybody going back to that.
We can realign all of our actions, our thoughts, our words, everything to what's the inner truth for us.
Yes.
And whether we agree with somebody else's inner truth, we can't. There's back to 9 billion people on the planet. You are not going to agree with everyone else's inner truth.
Nope. No, you're not. No, you're not.
You're not. You can celebrate it or you can question it. You can totally disagree with it. You can hate it with a passion. But you can't change it because it's theirs. The only person that you can change is you.
Oh, so true. So true. Yeah. So that goes back to, understanding, embracing, what level of courage that you have. I mean, like you said, I'm not going to get upset at somebody because they didn't maybe take that next step. There might be, you have to see this. I always tell people, look at the backstory of people. Don't just jump on and say, you should have did that. Da, 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 da. Why didn't you do that? You could be further along. You heard people hear that. You could be further along. You just did that. You just made a choice. See, and then they start calling you names because I've been there. But you got to take a step back and say, okay, where you are, Barbara J. Beckley, that person, Mary Jane or whoever, might not be at that place. They might be struggling with some things. If you want to help them, you don't yell at them to say they don't have the courage to do it and why they didn't do it. No, you find out what the root of it is and help them work through it. And then maybe if you do that part of it, that side of it, they might just say, you know what? You have gained a light in my head. I think I got the courage to do it now. Or they might turn around and say, you know what? Right now, I'm not ready. Either way it goes, respect them.
Respect it. And one of my things, I tend to be an early adopter. I will try things, let's take, because I can talk about for me, because I'm in the wellness space and I'm a prevention girl. I am absolutely a prevention girl because and part of it is because I'm cheap. No, I shouldn't say the word cheap. I don't believe in spending money on things that can be prevented, that can be prevented. Yeah. Well, okay, so I'm sorry, but it takes more money to, like, if you have a car, it takes more money to repair the car than it does to do standard maintenance. Get your oil changes, change your tires, all that kind of stuff. Well, we can change our car, but we only get one body. So I'm a prevention girl. I'm going to put everything into this body, this earth suit, to keep it at its optimal best.
That makes sense.
It blows my mind, Barb, when people don't. I mean, you might not necessarily do what I do. You don't necessarily have to take my products.
Yeah.
Do something.
Do something. Yeah.
Be aware. I happen to believe for myself that I have absolutely the best, world class, because it's cellular nutrition. Absolutely. That's in my mind, but not everybody is going to agree with me. That's okay. But at least do something. At least something.
Yeah.
And it just amazes me that it's like, oh, well, no, it's just because I'm getting older. That's why I'm starting to forget. No, it's not. You're starting to forget because the little things in your brain that looks like little straws, they're getting clogged. And when you put good nutrition in, your brain knows how to clean those little things out, and you will.
It almost sounds like filters, like little.
They look like little straws. But you know what? When you're eating a slushie, and a little ice crystal gets caught in the straw, that you can't drink through it. Well, that's exactly what kind of happens in these little things that are in your brain. They get clogged with a little piece of something.
Yeah.
And they're called nootropics. You can look them up. Nootropics. You can look them up, and they are things that will clear out the synapses in your brain. They've proven it. The technology is there. And that's one of the biggest things, too, is that we have intelligent technology now.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the subject, I'm an early adopter. That we have people that are early adopters, and then we have people that are up, and then we hit the top where something is new, and then all the people on the other side, oh, well, it's already done it. So, and then we get to the people that are saying, oh, well, it's already too saturated. Well, I'm an early adopter. I want to be on this side of the cutting edge stuff. So I'm willing to try something. And if it doesn't work, okay, fine, but I still tried it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am so blessed that I'm like that, because now I feel better now at 75 than I did in my 40s.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, I was just going to go back to, I know that's because that's your passion. So you could tell it's your passion, even when you're talking about it, and even to the point of oh, I just want to just shake people because they're not doing it. And see, that goes back to the reason why. See, I always ask the question now, because I get frustrated too. See, you're the frustrated of the health thing. I'm the frustrated with people and don't understand about being visible and about being out there and about talking and stuff. I'm like, don't you want people to understand who I be that's my side of the fence, right?
Exactly. That's why we're such a good team.
That's why I had to ask the question. I had to back and say, okay, Barbara, you're getting more frustrated. Sometimes I get more frustrated for the person. They're getting frustrated for themselves. Like, well, wait a minute. Why am I getting
exactly?
And then I had to ask the question, but why, Barbara? Why don't they want a good health with their body? What's the main reason? Is it because they feel like, okay, yeah, I'm getting older? Or is that just a symptom? See, remember we said that with
right. It's a symptom.
Well, let's dig deeper. Are they afraid to take certain things? Maybe back in the day somewhere they took some medication. No, I know it's not medication, but it's something that made them whatever, and now they're nervous about it. Or we can go to the other side of the fence where maybe it's an expense factor. Maybe it's a financial factor that they want to do it so bad, but then maybe they're ashamed to say, well, Barbara, I don't have $150 to buy the product. I don't have $300. I want to buy it, but I'm ashamed to say it because I have a business. I'm supposed to be making some money. Who am I now? I got to come to you and say, well, I don't have $150 to spend. See, people, this is where we're talking about. We're getting deep now, right? And people don't want to admit all that.
Right. And that applies to everything. Yeah. Well, they don't, and it doesn't matter whether it's a health product or buying a new car or whatever it is. It doesn't matter what the object is. It's the thought behind it.
Yeah.
It's the thought behind it. It's like you deal with people who you're like, but you need to in order to get visible, you need to do certain things. Oh, no, I can't do that. Well, but they hide behind the money. Yeah. They hide behind the money. And yet it's that feeling that but what if I fail?
Yeah. See, that's another thing too. Yeah.
What if I can't do it?
Yeah.
Those are the things, but that's where the courage comes in too, is to make a choice that you are going to say, you know what? I'm going to try this. Yes. I am going to work at this. If it doesn't work, okay, fine. There have been some things that you and I have done, and we both went, yeah, no, that didn't work.
Yeah, like, no.
Yeah, that didn't work. Or we got to the point where it's like, all right, I need to delegate this out. And I know I've told you story. The story that one day I was sitting there and just being so down on myself, going, why can't I do this? Mm-hmm. And God just spoke to my heart and said, because you're not supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And times like that too.
Yes.
But it's just living authentically. Live it. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you to the best that you can do. And
so you can be like you said, and I'm going to drive it home to what we talk about, the happiness part. So you can really just be truly, and I'm going to say truly, a lot of times right now, happy. I mean, not just, because I'm supposed to be, or they said, or I'm in this, whatever. You're happy because you're truly happy with what you're doing. Yeah.
My sister asked me that the other day because we were talking about would would I get married again? And I said, you know what? Up until this moment, I haven't even been looking. No desire whatsoever, ever. But now I'm to the point where, you know what? Oh, I'd really like to be a wife again. I'd like to meet somebody, and I know that the right man is out there for me. But then she looked at me, because we were on Zoom, and she looked at me, she said, but you're happy right now, aren't you? And I said, yeah, Liz, I am. I am content with me, because I'm content in my own skin.
Yes.
Comfortable in my own skin. And I can say, you know what, I know I haven't wanted to meet a man for the last, years, but now I think, ooh, maybe it would be nice to meet a man.
Well, they would be getting such a gift in their life if you were in their world. Yeah.
But the thing is when you can authentically do that and be authentically you.
Yes.
Not you think you should be.
Yeah, no.
I think this is one of the things that I said when we were on the Do You show. Get the word should out of your vocabulary. You should not be that, oh, I'm doing it because I should be doing this. No. Doing it because you want to do it and you're called to do it. It is aligned with you. It's that right thing for you to do it. Because then when you can say that, then you have the courage to embrace it.
Yes, Barbara. Oh.
And then you're going to watch how the rest of your journey
is just
will unfold, and in beautiful, chaotic, messy, unexpected, planned. All of those words are going to describe your life.
Yes.
Because you're willing to take the next step.
Yeah. I love it. I got to read some of the notes that you put, because everybody give kudos to Barbara. She's the one that gets these topics and get us going. So I can't take none of this credit. I tell Barbara, I said, I'm just going to just ride with you on this ride. And one thing she put here, and I have to read it because it's really, I like it, because it's talking about what we're talking about the role of courage. It says, every time you choose to take that brave step, you're building resilience. Resilience and opening up new possibilities for yourself. Remember, the courage to choose is a powerful tool for transformation. That is a mic drop. Yeah, we can choose those. And like with that, I deal with people that are facing retirement. When they're getting up into their later life. Their next, but I have taken the word retirement out of my vocabulary. Hey, it's my next chapters. The next chapters of my life, because I want to work with people that near the end of their career, that they open up their heart. Open up your heart, and then you will impact the world. Yes.
And we can all do that. All it takes is a little courage to make a decision, regardless of the outcome. Make a decision, and then just do it, because within that decision is a lesson. Yes.
Yeah. Always, no matter how it could be good, what they say, growing and ugly or whatever. I hate to say that, but it could be all different ways, but you're still growing through the whole process. You're still growing. And that's a gift of its own when you think about it, the overall. Right.
Yeah. Well, this the last year I went through made some financial decisions that I'm still paying the price for. It's just, like the world economy is changing. Yes. I'm kind of caught in the middle of it. But you know what? It is what it is. And yet at the time, I was sweating bullets.
I love our mascot.
Oh yeah, it was a tripod. Yeah,
she was looking at me just kissing on you. It's so sweet.
And I had to really come face to face with, all right, you know what? Because it cut into my income. It's the money is tied up in government in red tape. But you know what? I survived it, and I'm better for it. I am better for it because now I have realized that it wasn't about the money. That had nothing to do with the money. The money was just a tool. It was the security that I felt. It was the security that, oh, yike. What if I don't? I was putting my security in the money.
And then the money,
Security is not in money.
Yeah.
Security is not in your job. Security is not in whatever. Security is in you and in your faith and in your faith. And I had to really get in touch with what did I believe? Whoa.
Yeah.
It was a heavy summer.
I know it was a heavy summer. I know it was a heavy summer.
It was a heavy summer.
Yeah.
And yet now I am so much better for it because I needed to make some decisions, let go of things that weren't serving me.
Yeah.
That was really tough.
Yeah. And then remind yourself of what the real security is and not what what we're so used to, Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had been putting my security in my bank statements.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, they're not.
Security is not in your bank statement.
Than that. Yeah.
It's so much higher. And
well, Barbara, this has been, I always like when we have these conversations. I just learned so much wisdom and stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Next, but you know what? I'm putting it out there though. Next time, you're going to be the one that's going to be in charge of the notes, and we are going to talk about
what you said. No more Barbara. No comfort zone, Barbara. Barbara Beckley. That's what I'm saying.
Barbara Beckley. We are going to be putting it out there of getting visible because it is such an important subject.
And I'm glad that you said that, Barbara, because I've been really, and then I know we have to finish up here, but I'm glad you mentioned about visibility, important subject, because somebody not questioned me, but just questioned visibility of itself. They're like, well, Barbara, I know you deal with visibility and all those things you do, but people can just research that. They can go on Google University, they can go on YouTube and look at all that stuff and know what to do, how to do visibility, how to put stuff out there in social media. They can do all that. So what's the difference? I said, you know what the difference is? The difference is they're not putting action to it.
Exactly.
We are in a world of information overload.
Right. So much.
And we get so much of it, but we don't do the next thing to make it work for us.
Make it happen.
Put it in action. And that's where I come in at. Because I'm the one that says, okay, now we got all this information you got either from me or from wherever. Now let's put some steps to it. Let's put a strategy to it. Let's see the transformation from the information. So
people, that's a mic drop here. See the transformation from the information.
Oh, I did a mic drop.
That's what, people don't realize that. You can have all the information in the world, but if you don't use it to transform yourself and others, what good is it? Absolutely, Barb.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that when we do our own thing without the guests. I really want to dig deep in that because, people are so easy to say, oh, I got this, or I seen it on TikTok, or I seen it on YouTube. And I'm not down in none of that because we all use those as tools. But what is the action part of it where it's getting you something that's moving the needle somewhere in your life? And I'm just not talking about getting money and clients. Whatever you're trying to get, are you getting to that point? Or are you just sitting back saying, I got the information?
Right. Exactly. So true. So true.
Love you. So any lasting thoughts, Queen?
Just embrace the lesson and celebrate your wins. When you take a step today, celebrate it. I don't care how small the step was. Yeah. Celebrate it.
Ooh. Yes. Love it. Okay, everybody. We'll see you at the next Time to Shine show. And always, like Barbara always says, celebrate. Celebrate so important. See you later.
Bye, everybody. Well, goodbye, everybody, and thank you so much for listening to the Time to Shine Happiness Show. I'm your host, Barbara Ellison, and I look forward to seeing you next time, where we will have a great guest talking about making happiness the norm rather than the exception. Because, you know what, we believe that each and every one of us deserves to lead a happy, healthy, debt-free, abundant life, whatever that means to you. So join us again. And please, to get reminded, hit the subscribe button or the like button wherever you're listening to us, and we will see you next time. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.